Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into revenue operations, RevOps. Yeah.
And specifically, how its role seems to be really changing quite dramatically. We're
Hmm.
basing this on an article looking at, the future of RevOps. It makes a pretty strong case for needing more tech-forward leaders in that space.
Yeah, that's right. The piece really zeroes in on this pivotal shift. It argues RevOps is kind of graduating from just being a support function. So, our mission today, let's unpack why that's happening and, what does that actually mean for how companies drive growth now?
Okay, let's get into it. I mean, think about the world companies are in now. It's incredibly fast, right? They're
Mm.
just swimming in data, right?
Okay.
So they got to align sales, marketing, customer success, all that, and somehow make sense of all this complex data to get real insights. The argument here seems to be that RevOps isn't just like helpful anymore, it's actually critical. Exactly. And what I found really interesting was the point about the type of leaders making this happen. It's not just about uh, tweaking existing processes. The company's really succeeding. They have RevOps leaders who are genuinely tech savvy, innovation driven. They're using systems thinking, technical fluency, building something that can actually, scale.
Right. So the old idea of RevOps just being a sort of bridge, maybe cleaning up CRM data or making reports standard, that's kind of fading.
Yeah, it's becoming outdated.
The article uses this phrase, shifting to become the central nervous system for revenue generation. I like that.
It's a good way to put it. It totally reframes the function, doesn't it? You move from reactive support to, well, proactive strategic design.
Mm.
It's about orchestrating that whole customer journey, embedding technology deeply, and enabling decisions in real time that hit the bottom line.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting, I think, and where it demands a different mindset. What does future RevOps actually need to pull this off? The article talks about like serious intelligent automation, getting rid of friction in workflows.
Yes, and establishing that single source of truth for data. That's huge across the whole business. And critically, moving past just describing what happened,
Right.
using data for predictive strategic actions, looking forward.
So this definitely brings up the skills question. What kind of people do you need?
It does. The piece talks about needing an operational product mindset, which is
Huh?
interesting. Basically, treat your internal RevOps, tech stack, your CRM,
Mhm.
automation tools, like actual products.
Oh, okay. So not just off-the-shelf tools you set and forget.
Exactly. They need constant development, testing, improvement
Hmm.
based on how your teams actually use them, like a
Right.
customer-facing app.
Right.
And to build that, you need advanced tools, AI,
Mm.
definitely, cloud-native stuff for scale. So the ideal RevOps leader profile, it's changing. You're looking at backgrounds, maybe in engineering, program leadership, a real grasp of cloud data systems.
Wow, okay. That's a fundamental shift in the talent needed. So let's talk payoff. If a company really invests in building RevOps this way, what's the business case? What does the article say they gain?
Well, the argument is pretty strong. Companies with this kind of strategic RevOps function, they tend to significantly outperform the others. They're more resilient, for one, because they have clear operational visibility, systems built for change.
Okay, makes sense.
They're faster, integrated systems, clear data. It breaks down silos, speeds up decisions,
Hmm.
and they're smarter. They can continuously improve based on actual data, not just, gut feelings. The article actually calls this kind of RevOps leader a force multiplier
Hmm.
for the whole revenue team.
A force multiplier. I like that frame. It really captures the potential impact, doesn't it? So putting it all together, the article's pushing for RevOps to be much, much closer to the executive core. So, okay, what does all this mean for you listening right now?
I think it means that fundamentally the path to growing revenue today is tied much more closely to technical fluency and sophisticated systems thinking, right there in the RevOps function. And the final thought the article leaves us with, something maybe for you to think about, is that we need leaders who can basically write new playbooks for how revenue gets generated. Playbooks built on this tech know-how, this ability to think about systems at scale. So what does that imply? About the skills you might need, maybe the structural changes companies need to make to really stay competitive as this landscape keeps evolving.